Last night, I had Lou Pelletier on. Lou is the father of Justina Pelletier, and Justina is this unbelievable 15-year-old girl that went up to Boston Children's Hospital and has been taken from the family. And we've been following it on the radio show and on the Blaze. And quite honestly, this is very much the Terry Schiavo case. This hospital is killing them. The state of Massachusetts is killing this girl because they don't want to admit that this is a real disease. Last night I had Lou on, and for anybody who says, you know what, there has to be something, I challenge you to watch this interview with the father. He looked so tired last night. During the break, what you didn't see was him trying to hold it together and him asking me, is this okay? I just need people to listen. I mean, he was an incredible interview last night.
He seems, and I don't know him other than spending a couple of minutes with him, but he seems so normal and just so heartbroken, and he's got nowhere to turn. It's been over a year now, where his daughter's been held hostage by this hospital. When does this happen in America? I've never heard of this before.
No.
And he's just reaching out, trying everything, and I can't believe we've been talking about it for, 2 months?
And nothing
has 2.5
happened.
months, and not a thing. They still have her held hostage.
Because the governor doesn't want to get involved, because the governor is beholden to Harvard, and Harvard and Boston Children's, that's the same organization. So imagine you think anybody in Boston, anybody in Massachusetts is going to take on Harvard and Children's Hospital? No. How many connections do they have? So they're not going to get involved in this. It's really going to be the people, if the people would rise up. So they have not been allowed to say anything by the court system. I will tell you that there's a lot that I will tell you when Justina is either dead or when this is all over. But I'm telling you, this is a movie that will be made. This is one of the most incredible horror shows I've ever heard in American history. And there's a lot happening. That the family won't even confirm, because the family is so afraid of the state, and they have threatened, we'll throw you in jail. But he has said now he has to say something because he's watching his daughter die. They are not giving her any medication. And here's the thing. They are saying that this is all nothing but, a mental disorder. Well, one of the main doctors at Boston's Children's Hospital, when he was in Hartford, or when he was at Tufts, he was the doctor that did all the procedures. And the other one was now the head of surgery, I think, at Boston Children's Hospital. So if these parents did something wrong to their daughter medically, their two doctors were the ones who did it. They're the doctors at Boston Children's Hospital. And so they took this child away and said, you know what? These people are basically Munchausen by proxy. Well, excuse me, your doctors, the ones that are here, that you hire, the ones that you say are new geniuses, they're the ones who did all the procedures. They're the ones who diagnosed it. And those two doctors are being kept away from the family.
It's interesting because when we first heard about this, we thought, okay, there's something. There's something here. There's something wrong with the family. The family's been doing something weird. We've looked into this every possible way, and there's nothing wrong here with the family. They didn't do anything wrong.
No. Yeah, you really vouched for him yesterday in the interview, Glenn. I mean, you sat with the guy for, an hour? And I don't think I've ever heard you say, like, what you did was, like, I've sat with this guy for an hour, and I believe him. I mean, you really believe him.
Because I do. And I was
very believable.
I was very nervous about meeting him because I thought, okay, am I going to find something out? I mean, our journalists have gone through this. Other journalists have gone through this, and quite honestly, other journalists in Boston, who the newspapers have decided strangely not to print those stories. We've all gone through this family. Is this family warm and cuddly? No. You know why? You've kidnapped their daughter.
Oh, my gosh. They're much more warm and cuddly than I'd be at this point.
Oh, my gosh.
I can't even fathom it.
No,
I don't even know what kind of rash action I would have taken by now.
If
it's been a year.
Stu, you were watching it last night.
Yeah.
And when he was describing what was going on, he's going to be on the air with us in the 11 o'clock hour. And I want you to know, there's a lot of things that you can do to help, but one is even $5. Man, I am going to break up even talking about this. This family is broke. They're done. They have nothing. Because
they've been fighting this thing for a year.
They're completely gone. And he said the reason why they don't settle anything, the reason why they don't do any of this stuff is because they know you're fighting the state, you're fighting Harvard, you're fighting Boston Children's. He said they have enough money. They'll just crush anybody who stands against them. And he's like, we're done. He said, we have no money left.
So if you can help, is it freejustina.com?
It's freejustina.com. Freejustina.com. But I want to play a little bit of this interview that happened last night.
How about the idea that they are engaged in mental and physical abuse?
No doubt about it.
In what way?
I'll just go through a few of the examples. When she arrived at Boston Children's Hospital, she would have psychologists putting their nose in her face saying, "Why did you have this tube placed into your stomach? How could you let them do that?" They would not do her flushes for days at a week or weeks at a time. We have no idea what damage has been done to her colon by the lack of proper treatment. They'd have her sit in the toilet for 2 or 3 hours at a time. You will go. The term they like to use is behavioral modification.
Oh my gosh.
So these fevers or any illness you have, it's all up in your head.
Oh my gosh.
So we're going to prove it to the nth degree at whatever cost it is, even if it's your life, to prove that Boston Children's were the...
But she has rapidly gone downhill.
Everybody's seen the videos. She was ice skating. She was in 3 different ice skating shows. In fact, on January 23rd, my mother-in-law, her grandmother...
And she went in on February 10th.
She went on February 10th. She skated for her grandmother that day. Then she got the flu, and again, the results were
And
there.
now how is she?
Now she's in a wheelchair, pretty much paralyzed below the waist, has almost no muscle control above the waist. Her hairline is receding, gum line's receding, showing malnutrition and everything else.
Oh, how do you...
She's scared out of her mind. She's alone.
What is she saying to you? And what are you saying to her?
We keep saying, hang in there. We're going to get you out. Hang in there. So she is the strongest human being in my life I've ever come across. I never would have thought of all my daughters that she'd be the one that would be my hero. She is my hero, and she needs to be this country's hero. She needs to change the way medicine can override people who've had a diagnosis to say what they have is in their head.
Okay.
There needs to be a law that's called the Justina Law to end this.
Man, that's powerful.
What would you... I would just want to ask you, stop saying, okay, there's got to be something. There's not. And we've said it here, but we have the resources. Look, you subscribe to the Blaze so we can do these things. So I can hire journalists, and I can hire really good people who will look at these things. And we were just in a meeting today, and there's some things that we want to bring to you, but some of the sources aren't exactly right. And so we're like, okay, well, then we better not, we can't bring that to you. We really turn over every stone before we bring something to you. We try our hardest. We have looked at this one for 6 months?
Long time.
And we keep going back over and over and over again. What have we missed? What have we missed? Nothing. Nothing. There is nothing here. This is a family that has lost their daughter. Their other daughter has the same problem. The other daughter is with the family. The Department of Children and Families has been into their home. They have been in their home over and over and over again. You know how fast the state takes children away from abusive parents. When in doubt, take them away. Well, why is the other one there? The other one has the same disease. Why is it Munchausen with Proxy on one, but not the other? because it's not. It's a lie. And Boston Children's Hospital got their hand stuck in a bear trap, and now they can't get their hand out of there. They don't know what to do, because if they admit this mistake, then all of their research, look, they are trying to develop this new drug for this new disease that they can blame all these things on psychiatric problems. I'm a guy who has small fiber neuropathy, and there's a lot of people that have it. And usually it's caused by diabetes or something like that. And it's constant tingling in the hands and the feet and everything else. I have a very rare version of it that causes it to feel like I am being stabbed all the time. Sometimes I feel like somebody has dropped a piano on my hand, and it is bone crushing. There are times that I feel like there is a rod that has been jammed into my leg. Sometimes small fiber neuropathy turns into, I was talking to my doctor one time, and he said, I just saw a patient, Glenn. He said, it manifests itself in her as if she stepped into one of those bed of nails that Indiana Jones, that first episode where those spikes come up and run through you. He said, any touch makes her feel like she has just stepped on one of those things, and the spikes have gone through her. And he said she was in the hospital, and we just, all we can do is medicate her. When he told me that story, I had been going to doctor after doctor after doctor. And when he told me that story and I finally saw him, I spent probably a half an hour or 45 minutes just crying, thanking him. Thank you. I thought I was going insane. Everybody said that this wasn't real. Well, I don't know. This is weird. I mean, yes, you have small fiber neuropathy, but it usually doesn't manifest. I know it doesn't usually do that, but I'm feeling it. What else is causing this? And there are times, Pat has seen it. Pat has seen it. When I travel, it gets bad. When it's cold, it gets bad. And Pat has seen it. Am I faking that, Pat?
Oh, no. Absolutely not.
It's beyond comprehension. But imagine you're 15 years old, and surgeons have gone in and taken part of your colon. They have done all of these things, and you've been sick for so long.
And you're away from your family.
And you are away from your family. You only have a phone call with mom and dad that's 20 minutes every week. 20 minutes. And somebody's monitoring that phone call, and they're in your face. And they're sending to your daughter. They are saying, why would you let your parents do this to you? America, please stand up. Please stand up for this child. Please. Please, I'm begging you. Share Justina's story. I've gone through this once before with Terry Schiavo. Please don't let this end the same way. This does affect you. It does. It will change the way the state can deal with you. You have a right. The child doesn't belong to the state or to the hospital. The child belongs to me. It's my child. Go to freejustina.com. freejustina.com.